Alright folks, here's the next project. It's a 67 Mustang Coupe. And as you can see, there's a few things missing. You know, like pretty much everything. But it's pretty darn solid. It needs some floor pan work. And a little bit of work back here in the corners, the windows. But otherwise, it's pretty darn solid, especially for an East Coast car. I mean, you look where the battery tray was, nothing there. Frame rails are decent. But now we got to get her out of here and load it onto the trailer. Okay, well, I tried to film us loading this thing onto the trailer, but my phone fell over and I got a whole bunch of black. And my dumbass had forgotten to bring the camera and tripod. But anyway, we got it out of the fellow's yard and loaded up. It's the next day, and tonight I'm going to see a guy about getting some of the parts for it. Seats, front and rear. Interestingly enough, the fellow that I'm going to see tonight is the guy that bought a lot of the parts off this car when it was being parted out recently. I wish I could have gotten to it before that, but chances are I couldn't have afforded it then. You know, I only paid $200 for this, and it comes with a title, so, you know, these days that ain't bad. Will it be a lot of work? Yeah, but when you don't have money, you have to invest time. So, I guess that's where it's at, and I'll pick it up after I pick up parts.
4 to 6 weeks later.
Today we're just kind of moving cars around because I need my trailer. The city's been bugging me, so I got to move some stuff. This is a 67 Mustang Coupe that I picked up, back around Thanksgiving for the miserly sum of $200. I couldn't really pass it up because, you know, Mustangs usually, the frame rails are rotted out down here, and these are solid. The battery boxes rot out underneath, and that one's nice and solid. Look at it. Everything's in good shape in the engine compartment. The cowl seems to be solid. It's got the usual floor pan problems, but you know, it comes with new pans. That one's already partly installed. I'll probably redo it a little more professionally, I hope. The lower quarters, you know, they have a little bit of fumundage. The hardest part for me really is going to be around this back window. There's some rust. But even that's really not severe. Along inside, the trunk rails are decent. There's the doors. I got the glass. Had no drivetrain at all. I didn't even have a rear in it when I got it. So I put one in last week. That was a bit of a circus. I'll stick a couple of pictures in to show you all how sketchy that went. I forgot to video that because I'm still not used to videoing all the stuff that I do. But yeah, we're getting ready to drag it off of here. I guess I'll hook it to the back of that truck over there and give her a tug and see how she comes off. Because then I have to load up a couple of the other cars and move them to a buddy's house for a little while. But yeah, we'll get set up to pull it off and get that done. Okay, I think we're just about ready to go here. Aired up the tire. We got the hook on the rear. Down here. Another chain hooked on to the ball hitch on the back of my girlfriend's truck, which is another whole project. That poor thing's been sitting there for about 4 years now with the engine out. I have the new engine, just have to put it in. After I put in the oil pump and new seals, timing chain, stuff like that, you know, it snowballs. So it's been sitting. But anyway, I think we're just about ready to give her a pull. It should come right off. I mean, I've done this 100 times. It's probably gonna hook a time or two, so I'll have to get the big pry bar out. But yeah, I'll set up the tripod and we'll give it a go. Well, we've got a pretty good snag. I'm gonna have to re-rig and get set up for that last pull. The drum is hooked up on the side there. Here, let me show you. There we go. See, the drum is hooked right there. So I got to jack that up and get it out. Back in a few. Okay, we've got the snag cleared, shortened up the chain a little bit, and this should be good enough to get it off of there the rest of the way. mission accomplished. It's off. Yeah, looks pretty ugly, don't it? But you know, a buddy of mine has one of these in his junkyard, a 67, and it's got all the front suspension and a whole bunch of the other stuff that this car needs. So he just told me, dude, just come over, I'll load it on your trailer, take off what you want, and take the rest to the scrapyard. Don't even bring it back. So it's nice to have friends. And in this hobby, you really need them, because you know, these cars are getting harder and harder to find, and parts ain't cheap anymore. So you know, you got to take them where you can get them. The plan for this one is just, right now, I just want to get it into roller condition and solid, and then we'll just go from there, whether it gets sold or whether we find a motor and trans to put in it. I do have a couple of T5s, but I don't have any running small block Fords. So you know, if I come across a good running 302 or something, maybe we'll think about putting a motor in. But for now, I just want to get it into rolling condition. So I guess that's it for now. Yeah, I guess that's all for today. Thanks for joining us here at the 4th Street Chop Shop, and we'll see you next time.